The CEO
This
rejected
is
the
the agreement
single
we
father's
discussed.
project in less than 3 minutes. She didn't
It's
even finish
non-negotiable,
reading the
Robert.
final page before
need some time
sliding
to
the
review
proposal
this.
across the polished conference table with a polite smile that carried no warmth. 3 weeks later, every screen inside her company's headquarters flashed with emergency warnings. Investors abandoned the business, customers walked away by the thousands, and the very solution she had dismissed became the one thing that could have prevented the disaster. By the time she realized what she had thrown away, it was already too late, and the quiet father she had overlooked was the only person who truly understood why everything had fallen apart. If you believe kindness and second chances can change lives, take a moment to like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to the Kindness channel. Every act of compassion matters. Ethan Brooks had never imagined that his life would shrink into a tiny apartment where every dollar had to be counted twice. 3 years earlier, he had been a respected software engineer with a promising career. But everything changed when his wife passed away after a sudden illness, leaving him to raise their 6-year-old daughter Lily alone. Every morning began before sunrise. He prepared breakfast, packed school lunches, braided Lily's hair the best he could after watching countless online tutorials, and rushed to work, only to hurry back in time to pick her up. Sleep became a luxury, but giving up was never an option. Every smile on his daughter's face reminded him why he had to keep going. Late at night, after Lily fell asleep with her favorite stuffed rabbit beside her, Ethan worked on an ambitious project, one he believed could transform data security for businesses around the world. He had seen too many companies relying on outdated systems that left customers vulnerable to cyber attacks. Instead of complaining, he poured every spare hour into building an intelligent security platform capable of detecting threats before they spread. His apartment became both a home and a laboratory, filled with coffee cups, handwritten notes, and relentless determination. This project was more than a business idea. It was his dream of building a better future for his daughter while protecting millions of people from invisible dangers. After months of hard work, Ethan finally secured a meeting with Carter Dynamics, one of the country's fastest-growing technology companies. The company was led by its brilliant and highly respected CEO, Victoria Langford. Known for her sharp instincts and fast decision-making, she had built an empire. But success had also made her believe that first impressions were enough. When Ethan entered the company's impressive headquarters in his modest, carefully pressed suit, he immediately noticed the expensive artwork, polished marble floors, and busy professionals moving quickly through the halls. He looked ordinary among them, but inside his worn briefcase rested years of sacrifice. The meeting lasted only minutes. Victoria barely looked past Ethan's appearance and small, independent background. Assuming his project lacked the scale for a billion-dollar corporation, she rejected it without asking deeper questions or requesting a demonstration. She simply instructed her assistants to move on. Ethan quietly gathered his papers, thanked everyone for their time, and walked out with dignity, despite the crushing disappointment in his heart. Outside, rain began to fall. Ethan sat alone on a nearby bench, holding the folder that contained his dreams. He thought about Lily waiting at home, believing her father could fix anything. For a moment, he wondered if all those sleepless nights had been meaningless. Then he remembered the promise he had made beside his wife's hospital bed, that no matter how difficult life became, he would keep moving forward for their daughter. Wiping away the rain mixed with silent tears, he stood up. One rejection would not define his future. Over the following weeks, Ethan continued improving his system while taking freelance jobs to pay the rent. Every evening, Lily sat beside him, coloring pictures while he worked. She didn't understand the code on his screen, but she understood determination. Often, she drew pictures of herself and her father standing together under bright sunshine, writing, "Dad never gives up." Those drawings became more valuable than any award. Exactly 3 weeks later, Carter Dynamics launched a massive new digital platform, expected to be the company's greatest achievement. Investors celebrated. Employees applauded. Victoria confidently predicted record-breaking success, but beneath the excitement was a dangerous flaw, one Ethan had tried to solve. Within hours, hackers exploited the company's outdated security system. Sensitive data leaked across the internet. Servers crashed. Panic spread. Customers reacted with anger. Investors pulled back. The company's stock collapsed by the end of the day. Inside headquarters, chaos took over. Experts worked around the clock, but no solution came. Millions were lost every hour. In desperation, executives reviewed old proposals, hoping they had missed something. That's when they found Ethan Brooks' presentation. As they read it carefully, silence filled the room. Every vulnerability had been clearly identified. Every solution had already been designed. For the first time in years, Victoria felt something unfamiliar. Regret. She realized she hadn't judged the idea, she had judged the person, and in doing so she had rejected brilliance. Determined to fix her mistake, Victoria personally went to Ethan's apartment. Instead of sending assistants or lawyers, she expected anger. Instead, she found warmth. Lily greeted her with innocent kindness. Colorful drawings covered the walls. Ethan looked tired, but there was no bitterness in his eyes. Victoria apologized sincerely, admitting her arrogance. Ethan listened quietly. Then he agreed to help, not for revenge, not for money, but because millions of people deserved protection. Together, they worked tirelessly to rebuild the company's security systems. The recovery was slow, but honesty, humility, and cooperation began restoring trust. As Ethan's story became public, people across the country were inspired. A single father, underestimated and rejected, had chosen compassion over revenge. His story reminded everyone that true talent doesn't always look impressive, and that real strength is often quiet. Victoria transformed Carter Dynamics. Proposals were now judged on merit, not appearance. Young innovators were given real opportunities. Employees were encouraged to listen before judging. Ethan accepted a leadership role, but never at the cost of time with Lily. Every evening they still shared dinner, laughed, and lived simply. Because true wealth isn't measured in money. Before this story ends, take a moment to share in the comments. Have you ever been underestimated, and did you prove people wrong? Your story might inspire someone who needs hope today. Months later, Carter Dynamics had fully recovered. But the greatest success wasn't financial. It was the lesson learned. One rushed decision had nearly destroyed everything. One act of forgiveness had saved it. Ethan's greatest achievement wasn't his technology. It was proving that kindness still matters, even after rejection, and that the strongest people are those who keep believing when the world stops believing in them. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, comment, share it with your loved ones, and subscribe to the Kindness channel. Because sometimes the greatest success begins with rejection, and the brightest future belongs to those who refuse to lose hope.